Hey, I have got a bonus video for you today because Svein and Martin just sent me pictures of the tables for the Norwegian nationals. So let's go and see what the Norwegians are building, shall we? Here we go. So this is the first one. Lots of forests here. There's a bit of ruins in the center that will block line of sight, I think. Someone needs to figure out where the edges of these ruins are, or if you're just playing them as true line of sight. But there's a lot of forests here, which is good for hiding, right? The hills are on one side, so the table is not like equal to each side, which means that your choice actually does matter. Although I think that there are more forests on this side, so more line of sight blockers on this side, more open on this side. Interesting though, right? We've got a lot of hard cover linear obstacles here, but not many soft cover options, except for all the woods and stuff. And then a small pond here, which, could be played as impassable terrain or even rough ground soft cover for infantry that's in it, because they are in the water, right? Depending on how you want to go about it. Looks very nice, this does. Let's check out the next one, and this is a winter table. Right, so we have again this central bit of terrain here, some linear obstacles. This is set up so it's easy to play sector style deployment here. We've got a couple of forests, 6 in total I'm seeing, a couple of smaller ones over here, a very tall rocky outcrop here, a couple of more rocks. I think this is a ruin, as is this. Lots of line of sight blockers, but still there are nice ways in, like if you could deploy a gun up here and you can see all the way down there, that will give you good line of sight, right? Also from the top of this rocky outcrop you could see all the way down here, so there are decent sight lines for guns here as well. Very nice setup, very focused on if you're playing with a quarters deployment. Right, let's see the next one. Oh, this is an open one. This is a desert one. And as desert ones are want to be, it's very open, right? You get a lot of cover though. You get a lot of hard cover. But, there's this one piece of forest, there's this one, and then 2 pieces over here. Everything else is open. This is where you want your guns to stay and just shoot at the enemy from hard cover, right? I love these pieces of terrain. I think these are like store-bought pieces of trench work. Love them. They look really cool. For me, I would ideally want there to be a little bit more of line of sight blockers here in this area. But, you need some tables to be open. This is a very V2 table for me. Let's check out the next one. Oh, this has a lot of line of sight blockers. Like we have a big ruin over here, one over here, there and there. This is one of those tables where you have to decide how do you play the ruins. We have a cottage over here with some soft cover linear obstacles, then some hard cover along the road here. Some woods. Ideally, I would never put a wood up against the edge, but this corner, look at how well protected that corner is. I know where I'm going. If I'm playing quarters deployment on this table, I want to be here because so many line of sight blockers. The forests are all there to block line of sight, and you do have ways of pushing up that can go a lot of ways here, right? So that is a nice corner for a defensive posture anyway. Let's check out the next one. A city board. Very nice. We have a large road up here, and you have to turn a bit to make use of the road, but you can still. There's a lot of options for that. I like that. This center is going to be a little bit open, but you need some place to place your guns. And you can jump from house to house down here and move about. Lots of linear obstacles again, hard cover, tank traps. The opponents are going to have to decide how to play those. and potentially whether or not some of the houses are ruins, because some of them down here are a little bit burnt. I like the tall buildings here. These give very nice line of sight for a sniper, potentially, if you can get them up onto the roof, right? Lovely. And another desert table. This one has a little bit more line of sight blockers with all the houses here and the hills that are a little bit taller than average hills, so you get good line of sight blockers, or at least hard cover for the hills. This though is fairly open, so that is the killing ground here. It's much better if you want to move up to do it over here, I think. So I would place like one gun here that could look down and see all this terrain here, with the wall as a line of sight blocking hard cover. That would be a good placement for a gun. The same could be said for this placement over here, looking down here and just shutting down that open ground. Final table that I've got is a jungle table. Lots of patches of rough ground. Potentially these are all woods, so they will block line of sight, but I think some of them are just rough ground potentially. That depends on how you want to play them. They're small though, so there will be lines of sight that you can get if you're movable, and then you can move up behind the houses and stay in cover of those. I like it. This is a nice table to play on if you've got troops that can maneuver and can push up into the center. Right, everyone going to Norway, good luck. And yeah, that's it from me. Cheers.